This conference will now be recorded.
Right. Good morning, guys. So this is the output of your last class where we have seen the multi-value UI elements like select box, combo box, radio button, and checkbox. So in today's class, we are going to see how to read the value from these UI elements upon selection. Like I selected sister, so how to read that value. So similarly here, I selected male, female, so how to read this value. I selected or deselected the checkbox, how to read the value. So you are going to understand all that stuff. And we are also going to see the UI element called list UI element in today's class. So list and table, both are very important UI elements and both are based on the same library basically. The parent library is same for both of them. So if you understand one, so understanding the other is easy. Okay, so let us start. So first I want to show you how to read the value upon selection from this drop down value. Okay, so selecting a value from this drop down is an action performed by the end user. So you need to assign a function to that particular action. So here the action name is, for select box, the action name is change, and you need to assign some function upon the selection. Okay, so I'm assigning a function called onSelectRelation, right? So change is an action or event. This is also called as an event also. Just like when you press the button, you are assigning a function. So similarly, when you are selecting a value from the drop down, you need to assign one function, and that function I'm assigning it as onSelectRelation. You can give any name here. Now copy this and you need to write a function here. Okay, so this particular change action, what it does, it sends a predefined object to this particular function, and that predefined object is O event. And this O event will help you to read the selected item. It helps you to read whatever the item that you have selected by using O event.get parameter selected item. So this will return you whatever the item that you have selected. Dot get text will return the text on the item. Okay, so I'm printing this in the console area. So I will show you what is a console area. So let us refresh. All right. So I'm selecting father. You can see father in the console area. So if I select brother, you can see brother in the console area. Understand? Right. So the way you have done to read the value from this select box, the same methodology you need to follow for the combo box as well as the remaining also. But for multi-value, multi-combo box, you need to follow slightly a different approach because it's not a single value, it's multiple values which you can select. So to read the multiple values, uh, when you read the data from this one, it gives all these values in an array. So you need to loop over the array and read the value. So that I will show you. Now let us see for the combo box. So for combo box, the event name is selection change. And since these are also relationship values, so you can use the same method, or if you want to create another method, you can create. Okay, but the coding will be same. So I will show you on select relation from combo box. Okay, copy this and write the function here. Okay, and the same coding will go. Okay, so o event dot get parameter selected item, so everything will be same. Okay, so you are printing it again. Now I will show you from the combo box. All right. Now I'm selecting from the combo box brother. So you can see brother. Okay. So this is from the combo box because I'm not touching this. So you can see aunt. Okay. So same coding will apply for both select box and combo box. Now let us see for the multi combo box. For multi combo box, it will return all the selected values because I can select multiple values. So all these multiple values will be returned in an array and you need to loop over the array. So let us see how we can read for the multi combo box. So this is the multi combo box. So here the event is selection finish. The event name is selection finish, means you have selected whatever the check boxes you want to select, you have selected and you simply finished, means you just clicked outside or uh, just on the drop down. So this calls the selection finish. On select languages, copy this and keep it here. So here also O event concept will always be there. And now variable array of language items equal to O event dot get parameter O event dot get parameter. So here the parameter name is not selected item, it is selected items, plural. Okay. You should not say get text here. First you need to get all the selected items, then loop those items and then get text of each item. Okay. Now when you say O event dot get parameter selected items, so whatever the items that you have selected, all these items will come and sit in a array. And you know the concept of array. Array will always starts with the index 0. Okay. So you need to loop over this array for variable I equal to 0. Start with the index 0. I less than this array dot length I plus plus means increment the index by 1. So it is a for loop. So this is the same syntax that you used in your C language or Java language. Okay, same to same syntax. So I'll just repeat here. So you will write the starting index and 1 second. Yeah. So you'll write the starting index and then incremental index and then condition like, so till when you want to repeat this loop. So I want to repeat this loop till the last, the length minus 1 or less than length, both are equal. Okay. Now what I am doing, so all of you observe console.log. I just want to print console.log. What I need to print, I need to take the item at the ith index and then get text. So from this array of, okay, array index position I, okay, so which is pointing to the ith index dot get text. So this will give you all the values that you have selected. Okay. So did you understand this statement? From the array ith index means ith selected item. So whatever the item that is positioned at I, okay, dot get text. So get the text of that item. Save this and run this application. Let's refresh. Okay, so let me say, now I am selecting Telugu, I know Hindi, I know English. Okay, so that's it. Just you can see Telugu, Hindi, English. Okay, so for example, I will select differently now. I selected Telugu, Tamil, Malayalam, for example. Telugu, Tamil, Malayalam. You can see Telugu, Tamil, Malayalam. So whatever the languages that you have selected, so you can, this is how you need to read all those values. Okay, right. Next, radio button group. So this radio button group, you cannot able to read the text. You can read only the index. So basing on the index, you need to write the if and else conditions to decide what the end user has selected. Okay, so which means that, for example, I selected male, the function will give you 0. For example, I selected female, the function will give you 1. So basically, those 0 and 1 are nothing but the index position. So male is present in the first position, so its index is 0, so it gives 0. For example, I have another option here, and if I select that option, it gives 2. So basically, the radio button group is having only the parameter to give you the selected index. It cannot give the selected button. Okay, so selected button event parameter is not there for radio button group. Okay, so this is the radio button group, and here the event is select. So I am writing on select gender. On select gender. So let me write this here. So here again, O event object. Now all of you observe how to read. So as I told you, this will return only the index. This will not, you can't get the text here. So coding will be same. O event dot get parameter. So here the parameter name is selected index. So there is no parameter like selected button, from where you can get the text. The parameter name is selected index, and it returns only the index. If you select 0, it returns, if you select male, it returns 0 in this case. If you select female, it returns 1 in this case. Okay, so if you want, you can print and see console.log index. So now basing on the index, using if and else conditions, actually you need to write. So clear the console. So I'm selecting female, you can see 1. I'm selecting male, you can see 0. Okay. So now you can write if and else conditions here to check whether the selected value is a male or female. If index equals to 0. Okay. That means you are male. You can write, so just for a display value, you are male. Else, so since we have only 2, you can write if and else you are female. Okay, See, you are female, you are male. Obviously, you will get because you have written the code accordingly. Now coming to the single checkbox. So selecting this checkbox or deselecting this checkbox is also an action performed by the end user. So this action name is, so for this checkbox, the action name is again select. So you can write on select checkbox CHB. So again, copy this function. The concept will be same, assigning an action name, function, and implementing that function in the controller. So the concept will be always same. Okay. So here, in case of checkbox, the OEvent object parameter will return a true and false value. If you select the checkbox, it returns true. If you deselect the checkbox, it returns false. Okay. Right. So OEvent dot get parameter, get parameter. The event name is selected. So OEvent.getParameter selected is a parameter that returns true or false depending on the checkbox status. If you have checked the checkbox, it returns true. If you deselect the checkbox, it returns false. Okay. So you can use a if and else condition. If Boolean checked. So here, if you observe, I am, unconsciously using the naming convention automatically. So for a Boolean variable, so which is storing a true and false. So the naming convention in UI5 you need to use is B. B stands for Boolean. Okay. So Boolean is checked. If it is equal to true. Okay, then you can just print a log. You are married. Else you are still bachelor. Okay. So let us check the output. Save this and refresh. So I selected the checkbox. So it is saying you are married. Clear the console. Deselect the checkbox. You are still bachelor. Okay. Right. So this is how you need to read the values upon selection here. Okay. Right. Now we are going to see the list UI element now. The list and table, so these two comes under a category of composite UI elements, as I told you. But however, if you understand one UI element, it's equal that you understood the second UI element also. Okay. So let us see the list UI element now. So let me draw how a list looks like. Can you able to see, guys? So the list looks like this. So a list is nothing but a list of UI elements. Okay, a list of UI elements which looks like this. Okay, now it prints the data in predefined positions in the list. So this place is called title. This place is called number. This place is called number unit. Okay, so number unit, and place is for displaying some extra attributes, and this place is to display the status, some status related any information, and this is to show any any attributes, any extra properties, any extra data that you want to show. So I will just give one example with the below list here. For example, I want to print a list of employees. Okay, list of employees or list of products, for example. Okay, so here as a title, I will show the product name, laptop. As a number, I will show some its price. Okay, 1 lakh or 10,000. And in the number unit, I will show its number unit like INR, EU or USD, so whatever the currency code. And in the extra attributes, so as I told you, this place is for extra attributes. So here I can show the product ID. Okay, so like PRD001 something, and product description like touch laptop or whatever. Okay, so like this you can show any number of data here. And this place is for status. This place is for status. So what do you mean by status? Status of a product. We can show any information that is normally the name was called as status, but you can display any data. Just like the product is available, not available, out of stock. So that particular status you can show here, available, for example. Or if you take a material, whether it is approved, rejected, restricted. So whatever might be the status you want to display, you can display. If you don't have any status related information, you can display anything, not a problem. So don't think that these positions has to be filled with the appropriate values. No. In place of number, I can display anything. Number is a placeholder, means at this place, number is a property which will display some value here. Number unit is also a property which will display some value below the number. So if you have the corresponding values, display it. If you don't have any number related values, number unit related values, you can display any information. Okay, that's not a problem. Right. So the example I have given here, like I'm displaying a laptop, and its price 10,000 INR, and the extra attributes or extra information about the laptop like product ID, product description. Similarly, you can show RAM, hard disk. So like this, you can display. So you can repeat a list of products like this. So you displayed laptop, and you can display keyboard, you can display mouse, you can display tablet, you can display mobile. So like this, you can display any number of list of items. Okay, right. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to develop this list with again JSON model. JSON model means hard coded data. Okay. So you need, in real time, one or the other client will ask you to develop a hard coded list also. So in that case, you should know this approach as well as that approach. Okay. So let me go to the view. So how to develop a list? So before you develop the list, first of all, you need to be ready with the hard coded data. So go to the data.json. The way you created an array for the languages, the way you created an array for the relations. So similarly, you need to create an array for the whatever the products or employees, whatever you want to show. So I want to show your data. So I want to take some of your attendees list here, and I will show your data itself. So array of employees colon. So it's an array. So inside the array, so I'm going to take the first employee empid colon. So I can see the Abhinay as the first attendee here. So I will write Abhinay. So that is sorry, this is employee ID, right? So let me write some 1001 emp name Abhinay. Okay, emp designation. So let us write. So I'm just writing something. It doesn't matter. Okay. emp designation is over. Then emp skill. So I'm writing employee skill as ABAP. emp email. I'll just append at the rate gmail.com to the name itself. Okay. And last phone number, emp phone, or let us write location instead of phone. Okay, Hyderabad. Okay, right. Now you can copy this to create multiple employees, paste, copy along with comma so that it's easy for you to print. So how many I pasted? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So how many we have? Abhinay, Anil, Lalit, Nag, Ranjit, and Shiva. Okay, let me print some 7, doesn't matter. Okay, so it's an array of employees. So I will quickly change the employee numbers here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And I will change the names here. So Abhinay is over, and then Anil. So let me write Anil and Lalit, and what else? Nag, Ranjit, and then Sai is old student, Shiva. Okay, that's fine. So I have taken only 6. I will delete the last one. Right. So few of them I keep it as SC, SSC, manager, team lead, something like that. Okay. So irrespective whether that's a original or not, doesn't matter. Okay. Just for example. So I'm just writing team lead here. So I'm writing Java and anil@gmail.com, and I will keep you in Bangalore. And Lalit SSC, I will keep you as UI5, and lalit@gmail.com, and location Chennai. Now, and then let me put SE, or let me repeat team lead. Now get the gmail.com, and skill. Okay, skill. Let me repeat ABAP, not a problem. And now get the gmail.com. Location. I'm writing the location as Hyderabad. Fine. And again, so here let me write UI5. So Ranjit as a manager. Ranjit@gmail.com, and location I'm writing Bangalore, and Siva@gmail.com, and I'm writing SC, Shiva@gmail.com, Hyderabad. Let me write Chennai. Okay. Yeah. So now the hard-coded data is ready. So now we are ready to develop our list of items. So which is nothing but list UI element. So all of you observe how to do. It's a very simple. So you need to write list, and this list is having items property here. Now the items should point to slash array of employees. Okay, same concept. Okay, so items should point to the array of employees. The list will come with a header text property. So you can give some heading for the list, like Oasis batch 44 students. Okay. And inside this particular list, so the way, so inside the combo box, you created combo box item. Inside this radio button group, you created a radio button, right? So similarly, inside the list, you need to create list item. Inside the list, you need to create list item. So how to create the list item? The list item is called as object list item. Okay. Now the properties will start. Title, number unit. Title. So I want to display employee name as a title. So you need to just bind with the employee name. That's it. Next, number. I want to display employee ID as a number. So bind with employee ID. That's it. Number unit. I want to display, I don't have any unit related things. I want to display designation. Okay, we can display designation. Okay, so these three are over. Title, number, number unit. All the three are over. Okay, right. Next. So I told you this particular place is called extra attributes information place. So you can write that by using attributes, means any number of extra attributes you want to display, you will display under attributes tag. And each attribute will be displayed by using object attribute tag using the property title and text. Title and text. So title, like employee designation is over, employee ID is over, employee. So let me display employee skill here. Okay, so you can just write skill and you can bind the text with emp skill. So similarly, I want to display employee email here. So you just need to copy paste, write email, and again bind with emp email. Okay, so in the extra attributes section, you display two. Okay, so even here also we have displayed two. Right, now status. In this particular status, you can display maximum of two statuses, which is called as first status and second status. But normally in the real time, we show only one status. But choice is there. Okay, you can maximum two statuses you can display. But attributes you can display any number of attributes and there is no limit on that. But status, there is a limit. You can display a maximum of two statuses. And all these positions are fixed. You cannot change those positions, display positions. Okay, so first status, so this will be shown by using object status. So directly whatever you want to display, you can display. I want to display location of the employee, so emp loc. Now I will tell you what happens at runtime. Okay, so this is the code that you need to write for a list UI element. List items equal to array of employees. The moment it is pointing to the items to a array, it starts behaving like a loop. Okay, so it will go to the loop and pick up the first object, the first item. And this list also behaves like a loop and it will go inside the loop to create your first object list item, means first list item. So for the first list item, it will start creating the title. Now, since the data is pointing only to the first one, from this first one, it will pick up the employee ID, so which was binded here. You can see employee name, employee ID binded here. So at this moment, what is the employee ID? 100001. At this moment, okay, what is the employee name? Abhinay. So with Abhinay details like employee ID, employee name, designation, skill, email, location, it will construct this entire list item. Again, the loop gets repeated. So it goes here. Again, it checks. So it will pull out the next item. So with the next item, it creates another list item. So it goes inside and again, this code gets repeated. So another list item will be formed and so on. Okay. Now let us save this. So it has not saved. So sometime it happens with web ID like this. Okay, save it and refresh. Hello, am I audible, guys? Like a small
It's
network
audible
drop
actually.
happened actually.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So yeah, sometimes it little bit of network drop will happen. Right. Now, so once you display the list, see, even when you are working with OData also, the only change will be this code will not change, guys. Only the thing is data will come from the backend. So at the time you will understand. But so the events, actions, everything will be same. So we are going to repeat this topic once again when we develop the OData service in the backend and then come back. So there, at that time, you will understand that this change event, this selection change event, these events will not change. Only the data will come from the backend. So how that comes from the backend, that is what you need to understand, okay, when working with the OData service and OData model. Okay, right. So now the next thing you need to understand is when I select the list item, okay, how to read its value, any value. When I select this list item, let's say I want to read the employee ID, okay, I want to read employee ID or employee name or employee skill, employee location, email. So email is not printed. So let me check why email not printed here. So email spelling wrong, EMAI. I stopped it with EMAI. So we can use find and replace here and just replace. Okay. So we can just replace all, not a problem. Yeah, that's fine. EMP, email, one extra L here. Yeah, fine. Seems good. That's fine. Now it should show. Okay, change is saved. Now refresh. Actually, email was not printed, so I was checking why it was not printed, and actually the spelling mistake. So because of the spelling mistake, it was not printed over there. All right, now it is printing the email also. Okay, right. So now when I select any one of the employee, I want to display, I want to read the data of this particular employee. I can read any data. I can read that employee email ID. I can read that employee location. I can read that employee ID. So how to read any data of that particular employee? So which is a very common scenario in the real time. Okay. And whatever the code that we are writing now, this will not have much change even when you are reading the data from the OData model, from the OData service. So that is how SAP has prepared both the models. Okay, except on-load values you cannot read, but in OData on-load values also you can read. Okay, right. So first of all, your list is not enabled with the selection. So you need to enable this list with the selection. To enable the list with the selection, you need to write mode equal to single select master. If you don't write this property, the list will not be selectable just like this. See, even I'm clicking, the item is not getting selected. You might be thinking, Rizwan, how do you know that the item is not getting selected? In SAP UI5, whenever you select any item, it turns into blue color. If it is not turning into blue color means, so it's not selected. Okay. See, I'm clicking on the item, but it is not selected. Now, after writing mode equal to single select master, so just refresh the application. Now you can able to read the item. You can, the item becomes selectable. See, hand symbol has came, and the moment I select, this item turned into blue color. That means the item has selected. Right. So how should I read the data of the selected item? How should I read the data of the selected item? So here for list and table UI elements, to read the value, read the data of the selected item, we use a concept called binding context. Okay, so if you understand the definition of binding context, so it becomes very easy to read the data. Okay, so binding context is an object that points to the data of the selected item from the source. It will point to the data of the selected item from the source. Okay, not same Lalit, so slightly different. Okay, right. So I'm repeating once again, binding context. So binding context is an object that points to the data of the selected item. So data of the selected item means this one, but it won't point from the screen, but it points from the source. And what is the source? Array. So it points from the array. That is the meaning. Okay. So let us understand the definition once again. So for example, I selected Abhinay. Then to read the data from the selected item, we depend on the concept called binding context. So the binding context is an object that points to the select data of the selected item. So which item you selected? You selected Abhinay. Now binding context will point to the data of Abhinay, but not from the screen. Whatever the data that you are seeing on the screen, it won't point to this data. It will point to the data from the source. So what is the source? The source is array of employees. So from this array of employees, it points to only Abhinay data like this. So from this particular bracket, cursive bracket, to the cursive bracket which is ending at line number 46. So from here to here, the binding context will point. Okay, the binding context will point. So similarly, let's say I selected Lalit. When I select Lalit, the binding context will point from this to this. Okay, so binding context is an object that points to the selected item's data from the source, not from the screen, from the source. So what is the advantage if it points from the source is, let's say I did not display email here, but still I can read because I'm not reading it from the screen, I'm reading it from the source. So even you display all the values on the screen, or even you don't display. So let's say I displayed only the title, I don't want to display anything else. Even you display the title also, on click of this particular item, I can read all the values because I'm reading the data from the source, not from the screen. Okay, right. So now let us see how to read the value. Hope you understand the definition of binding context. Binding context is an object that points to the data of the selected item from the source. Now what we need to do, so for the list, we need to assign the action. So what is the action? You are selecting the item. Okay, so the action name is selection change. Okay, and you write on select employee, copy this, go to the controller, so write the function. O event concept will be same. Now let us see how easy it is to read it from the binding context of the selected item. So for example, I want to read employee ID. Okay, I will print that in the console. So first you need to read the selected item. O event dot get parameter. The parameter name is not selected item. The parameter name is list item. Okay. So the moment you write O event dot get parameter list item, it returns the selected item. It returns whatever the item that you have selected. On this selected item, you need to write get binding context. Get binding context. I am repeating once again. O event dot get parameter list item will return you whatever the item that you selected. From this list item, you need to get its binding context. The moment you write get binding context, this will start pointing to the data of the selected item from the source. Let's say I selected Lalit, then binding context is pointing this entire object. Okay. Now you have employee ID in your hand, employee name in your hand, all these properties in your hand. Whatever the property you want to read, you can read by using, as usually, get property method. Get property. So what do you want to read? Tell me. Employee ID. Then you type employee ID. If you want to read employee name, type employee name here. If you want to read employee designation, type employee designation here. That's it. So I'm printing this variable. Now let us see. So hit F12. So I'm clearing my console. So let's say I selected Anil. Sorry, I did not select Anil. So I selected Anil, you can see 100002. So let's say I selected Lalit. You can see 100003. I selected Nag. You can see 100004. So like this, whatever the item that you are selecting, you are able to read the data from the selected item. Okay. So whatever the code that you have written for O event, so you assign this one, and on this particular function, you have written this function and get binding context. So this code even will be same when you are working with OData also. So that's how he has developed both the models. Okay. Right. So this is how you need to read the data from the selected item. Okay. Right. So in the next class, we are going to understand another powerful concept called, so you will understand types of binding in the next class. So that is very important. Okay. So hope you understand today's class. So that's it for today. We'll meet in tomorrow's class with another powerful concept. Okay. Any questions?
Yeah, Rijwan.
Yeah. Hi, Rizwan. Ranjit here.
Yes, Ranjit.
Yeah. I mean, is there any way that we can check for particular UI element what events will be there? And I mean, instead of remembering everything, because for select we are using a separate one, and for drop downs we are using something else
Yeah.
in the view.
So you, right, right. So in the view, you no need to remember these particular, these are called actions or events. So you can call it as action or event, doesn't matter. So you no need to remember anything. Everything is present in the API. So for example, let me show you for select. So just type the whatever that you are, always type sap.yum dot. Okay, that should be there, and type select. So this is the select. Okay, so here you need to go to the events and you can see change. So the same thing I have written here. Understand?
Okay.
So similarly, combo box. Go to the combo box. Go to the events. Change, selection, change. Okay. Same thing I have written here. Selection, change.
So, what is the difference between these properties and events? I mean, there are
See,
in the APIs.
properties means, using those property, you can display some text. For example, so if you take text, text is a property. Event is something that is performed by the end user. Okay, event is like an action that end user will perform. Property is just a that UI element asset actually means. So for that UI element, you want to display some text or you want to display some values. So that is purely the UI element related. Action is something which end user will perform. Okay.
Okay. And is there any way that we can use our own custom defined ways? I mean, if I want to perform certain actions on this particular, let's say, list itself, apart from the given SAP provided one, I want to use out of
Mostly,
box.
you see, SAP has provided a very strong library. Okay, so the
Okay.
SAP UI5's library in terms of user actions, everything is very strong. Okay, and you will not go beyond this. And uh, whatever the question that you ask, like, so if you want to do anything else, for everything he has given. Okay, so he has not missed out anything. So for everything he only given, and there is a whatever the action that you want to perform, you can perform. Okay. See, SAP UI5 is a product based this one. So in SAP UI5, the the only problem will be whatever the UI elements that he has provided, you need to use as it is. And so, for example, if you say, I want to, this Abhinay, I want to keep it in the middle, that is not possible. I want to, this 10000 and I want to keep after this one. So these kind of things are not possible. But other than that, only display wise, he will give the UI elements in such a way that which are suitable for the business applications. So in SAP, whatever the business scenarios are there, so basing on that particular business, he has given all these things, all the UI elements, very strong library actually. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
apart from that, you can't do anything. So you have to use as it is.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Rizwan.
Okay. Yeah.
Hello. We didn't get any videos of the sixth.
You did not get
Hello.
any video. Who is this?
Shiva, this is
Okay. Any video means from the beginning or how it
no,
is?
from not from beginning. Last two classes.
See, yesterday's class, I only told you to ignore. Okay. So
Okay.
yesterday class is as good as canceling the class.
Okay.
Okay. And you tell me which video do you did not get
So before yesterday,
the day before yesterday. Others, did you get the video, guys, from me?
Uh,
So
this
I
one I
think
had
I'm.
not received any. I mean, I joined from yesterday's class. I started continuing from yesterday's. I think
Okay.
Ranjit here.
Okay, Ranjit. Fine, fine. So you joined yesterday. Okay, you joined yesterday is a wrong time actually.
Not an issue. I mean,
No, yesterday I was just I
no, it's not an issue because I mean, I can understand the coding part. Yeah, that's fine for me.
okay. So let me check what are the videos that we already shared, and then I will for those new people. So is there any new members in our team? Ranjit, I know. So he joined yesterday. Okay, Shiva.
I'm from beginning only.
So you are from beginning only. Then you would have get all the videos here.
Yeah. I get all videos, but last two classes I just missed that videos. So
Okay, 1 second. So let me check what are the last two videos. See, the day before yesterday, binding concept with multi-value UI elements.
yes.
Okay, so did you get it?
No.
You got it here. I can see your email ID. So please check once again.
No. Actually, sixth date we have one class is there, right? So in that class I just missed that class.
So you do one thing. You tell me with
Okay.
the video, what is the last video number that you got? Because we don't save with dates. We save in the sequential numbers, like
Okay.
one, two,
So
three,
11th
four,
class I
like
think. So 11th class I think.
11th class. I can clearly see here that it was sent to you. So please check once again your email. Okay,
No.
so check
Only,
check once again your email. So it was there. Can anybody confirm that you got the video number 11? Anybody else in the team?
I got it, Rijwan.
Yeah, so definitely you should have get it, Siva, because I can see your email ID here.
no, unfortunately that mail is not there in my my
Maybe
mail.
you, by mistake you might have deleted it, but anyway, I'm sharing it again. But see,
Okay.
I can see the list of emails to which I have sent here, so it shows me.
Okay,
Okay.
that particular mail is not there in my mail list.
Yeah. Anyway, I have shared it across again. Fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Guys,
January.
whatever the project that I'm sending you, so you need to download every day. Okay, so if you miss on any day, it will be overlapped with the next one. Understand? See, every day we are sending the same project with the updated coding. So you need to download it immediately. So whenever I send, okay. Otherwise, I know if you have the confidence that so I don't need code by seeing the video, I can type the coding, then it's fine. Okay.
And one more thing, which one?
Yeah.
Did you provide any soft copy for interview purpose? That means for interview questions or all these things.
See, till now there are number of students who cracked the interview. So yesterday also one person, cracked a Accenture interview.
Okay.
The videos whatever we are providing, you follow all the videos, and if you can practice every day's class, definitely everybody will crack the interview, because so we cover as per the real time, so and that too with real time standards. So definitely 95% of the questions will definitely they will ask from our training only. Okay,
Okay.
so one or two if they ask from outside, that is manageable, that's not a problem. Okay, so
Okay.
it's enough you practice every day's class, go through the video. If you forget any concept, go through the video, rewind it once again. Okay, so that's enough.
Okay. Sure. Thank you.
Okay, fine guys, I'm sending today's project, and video you will get it in an hour. Okay, so have a nice day. So we'll meet in tomorrow's class.